And welcome back to Morning Talk on the Talk of Mid-Utah, KSVC 980 AM and 100.5 FM. Robert Lovell with you alongside Porter Huntsman. Time now for our radio roundup interview for today. And today we are joined by Sevier School District Superintendent Cade Douglas and Richfield High School Principal Brent Gubler. And Cade, Brent, thanks you for coming in today.
Yeah, good morning. Good to see you two again.
Yeah, glad to have you on to talk about what's happening within the school district and for Richfield High School today. But let's start with the school district, Cade, and you wanted to talk about kind of the board members, the school board for Sevier School District.
Yeah, we come on the radio quite frequently with you all, and most of the time we talk about kids, which is exactly how it should be. We come in and visit and talk about programs and students and what's out there and what's available. And I wanted to share just a little bit about our school board this morning. We attended a state school board conference this last weekend. So our 5 board members spent their weekend up in Salt Lake City studying, learning, growing, improving their skills, and just continuing to be very, very effective. And while there, they received a state award called the Master Board Award, which was, to me, is very impressive. And what that means is all 5 of our board members had completed a number of requirements for that award. And the award consists of 4 different areas: continuous improvement, which is that they're committed to their own professional learning, committed to attending conferences and studying and being involved in all of the different decisions that board members should be. Advocacy, which means that we met with the governor a couple of months ago. They do some legislative work. They advocate for public education, and they become very, very good at that. The next is community engagement, collaboration, and relationships. And again, they're required to do several things: serve on committees, which all of our board members do, attend various meetings in the community. You'll see all of our board members attending extracurricular activities of students. They love to stop in and visit schools when we have celebrations and successes throughout the school district and engage with the students and the parents and the community. And then the last section is accountability, where they are trained specifically on open meeting law, how to understand and read assessment outcomes and measures and understand data. And so I just wanted the community to know how impressive that is, that they have a school board that is highly trained and they continue to sharpen their skills and their professional practice as it relates to being school board members. Now, all 5 of our school board members have other occupations. They're elected officials. It's very much voluntary, but they are so good at what they do. And I just wanted to just quickly review the precincts that we have. Rick Orr is our current board president, and he resides in Monroe and represents Monroe and Joseph, which is a pretty large population in Sevier County. Jack Hansen is our board vice president, and he represents Richfield, and for the most part it's the southeast quadrant of Richfield and a little bit to the northwest. And then John Foster, he resides in Glenwood, and his representation is the broadest as far as communities. He represents the cities of Annabelle, Central, Elsinore, Sigurd, Cashurum, Venice, and Glenwood. So he's kind of got a smorgasbord of representation. Then Ryan Savage. Ryan Harris is one of our assistant principals, great guy as well. Ryan Savage represents Richfield, and he's more of the west side of Richfield and a little bit to the northeast of Richfield. And then Dixie Rasmussen resides over in the North Sevier area, and she represents Salina, Redmond, and Aurora. And so that's kind of, there are precincts, and they represent different areas and different attendance, schools in our district. But just a reminder as well that they have to act as one. Any action they take, any decision that is made has to be made by the board together as a group. And they just do an excellent job. Some people, I think in our community, they have the misunderstanding that I'm an elected official, and I'm not. I'm actually hired directly by the board to handle the day-to-day operations. I make hundreds of recommendations to the board as far as who we hire, the different strategies and procedures that we have to fulfill our district vision, mission, and goals, which is directly set by the board. So the board isn't involved as much in the day-to-day operations of the district. They govern. They oversee directly myself as superintendent, and then Chad Lloyd is our business administrator, and the two of us are expected. Chad handles all the financial pieces of the district, and I handle the administration of the district, and the board governs. So it's a great board. I feel like we have we have the best school board in the state. There's 41 districts, and as we attend these conferences, I'm always impressed. There's a lot of wonderful school board members out there, especially in our surrounding rural communities, but I'm always impressed by our board, and I think the secret to their success is that they work together and they have a great relationship with one another. With myself and with our employees. We're constantly trying to improve. So
we appreciate all their support because they attend a lot of activities and visit the schools, and they are very minded about our students and our programs, and they want the best for us. And so we appreciate all that they do.
That'd be a key word there is active within the school district. Is the board are the board members?
Yes, I think that they're very active and engaged within their role. That's what makes it work here in Sevier County. Is they know their role well, and they're very engaged within that role. And they just do tremendous work. They're constantly questioning and discussing concerns and areas that we can improve in. They meet monthly, obviously.
Very positive and willing to support us in whatever we're doing and want the best for our students.
Yeah, they care. They care about every single student in our district, and then they know that the secret to success is caring about the employees of the district and supporting them in their work.
Great. So good to learn a little bit more about that and understand the precincts and where they're represented at. How often are they elected?
So they're on 4-year terms. 2 of our board members 3 will come up for election this coming November, and then 2 in 2 years. So it kind of works to where you never have a full flush.
Right.
But they're 4-year terms. And the precincts were just looked at, as most of our listeners probably are well aware. The census came, the 10-year census came, and there were some a lot of redistricting that took place throughout the state with legislative and congressional precincts. And so the school board precincts were looked at as well because population changes and such. So they were changed. They were tweaked a little bit. There were a little bit of changes there, but what I read earlier is how it is now as of January 1.
Okay. All right. Good information there with the school board for the Sevier School District. And now let's turn our attention back to those students, as you referenced earlier, Superintendent, and go to what's happening at Richfield High School, Principal.
All right, let's talk a little about Richfield High School. First off, we want to give a shout out to Annette Dickinson. After 30 years, she is retiring as our counseling secretary, and started in 1992, and 2022 she's calling it to enjoy some time with her family. She has a house down in St. George and support her kids and her grandkids. So
she was there when I was a Wildcat, so many years ago.
She's been there for a while, and we appreciated all her work on behalf of our students and staff, and she's done a great job. Richfield High School, let's talk a little bit about opportunities for our students. And we're always trying to make sure that parents know about those opportunities. With our CTE Center, it's probably one of our biggest ways for students to work on career opportunities, to know what's out there. We've got 108 students that are enrolled this semester, and one of the great things that the CTE Center provides is they're able to start some programs, and we've got a great partnership with Snow College, and they're able to go to Snow College after having that foundation, and then have certificates and be ready for jobs and work on 2-year certificates, associates, anything that they need to be exposed to different careers.
Yeah, it's super fun to watch the kids explore. You know, they can take classes, and these are fundamental, somewhat basic classes with almost any career you can think of. They can get hands-on practice and have instruction, and then be springboarded into Snow College's programs and beyond. It's amazing the number of students that are taking advantage of that district-wide. And then just a reminder, we do bus in the North Sevier High School and South Sevier High School students into the CTE Center. And there's really, if you look at it, Richfield High is obviously our biggest high school, and they have that same representation at the CTE Center. North Sevier High has fewer students coming over, but as a percentage, they send as many students exactly as they should for their size, and the same with South Sevier High. And so it's there's just so many opportunities available.
And all three high schools are contributing teachers to make that work.
It's something I think a lot of people don't realize is that a CTE center of this size and scale really isn't common for the size of community that we have.
No, we are so fortunate. It's really a blessing in our community. It's unheard of, really, in districts certainly smaller than ourselves, and there are even districts a little bit larger. We're the perfect mix here, where we've got Snow College right on campus, and then we just have just the right size and distance. It is a challenge to bus those students in. Those students have to sacrifice a little bit to get on the bus and spend a little bit of their day in transport to Richfield High to the CTE Center, the CTE Center on the Richfield High campus, I guess is how I should say it. But those who do never regret it. It springboards them right into careers. We have awesome success stories, hundreds of success stories every year, where students, they begin their courses at Richfield or at any of the high schools, then at the CTE Center, and now they're graduating as professionals, and they have careers. They're doing great.
Some of the classes are available, and we want parents to talk to their students and find out what's available and kind of help guide them to make those choices. We've got engineering classes, a gaming class that is coming through where they can actually program games. We've got an esports program at the high school where they can compete against other schools across the state, and it's all online, but you keep hearing about students being able to get scholarships to college.
Snow College has a program. University of Utah has an esports program.
Like it or not, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yes, it is.
And that's where a lot of jobs are right now.
Yeah.
We have floriculture, greenhouse management, accounting classes, landscape, medical forensics. That's kind of one that's taken off, where they're actually dealing with DNA and doing some things like that, like the
kind of like CSI.
CSI, that's what I wanted to say.
That's an old one.
where they're able to go and explore different things that way with DNA and the science there. We have a vet assistant class where students can learn about how to be a vet and take off that way. Electronics. We also have some aviation classes through SUU, and they've actually brought a helicopter and landed it on our practice field, and to show the kids what's going on with helicopters, and they've probably got one of the biggest programs in the regional area of multiple states. Also EMT classes, a lot of health science stuff. My son's been involved with, he's taken a concurrent anatomy class, sports medicine, some different things that way. So a lot of opportunities for kids to check out different careers and make sure. I always say make sure that they like something, because once they get out of school and they're working, they're going to be doing it for a long time. So they want to find something that they enjoy.
Yeah.
It's amazing. We're constantly talking to community business leaders. I have a Chamber of Commerce meeting today that I'll be attending, and we engage frequently with our employers here in the Valley, and we're trying to reflect that in these class offerings. We know we have a tremendous need in the construction area, plumbing, electrical. We're working to build up those programs. We do have an awesome beginning construction program, and we're looking to build. There's appears to be a tremendous need for plumbers, electricians, other hands-on trades and skills, and we're going to beef up our program there, and again continue to work with Snow College. We've been working really closely with Snow College because there was a medical assisting need here at the local hospitals in our region, and we're working with them to begin a class at the CTE Center, progress it into Snow College, and produce more medical assistants. So it's a great program, and the sky's the limit in our community with career opportunities and choice.
And again, coming back to Snow College, on February 9th, there's going to be a Pathway Completer Day, and they're going to recognize those students that have completed a pathway. So they've taken classes to complete that pathway, and they're going to be receiving a scholarship from snow. And so there's a lot of opportunities to
A lot of incentives.
yeah. And so our counselor's been doing a great job of promoting that and putting that out there to make sure that students know what pathway they can complete with those classes they're taking. And then Snow's been great to offer scholarships through that.
It's great.
Speaking of scholarships, you mentioned before we came on that a lot of scholarships are, not a lot, but there are some scholarships being unfilled because of, I guess, maybe lack of knowledge that they exist or how to apply for some of those things. So how do we
So we want parents to get on our website, richfieldhigh.org, and actually go to the scholarship tab on the side. And that has a list of all of the scholarships that we're aware of. They could be national scholarships, state scholarships, and also local scholarships. So we want to make sure that people are aware of those and that seniors are taking advantage of that money that's out there to help them be successful, whether it's at a trade college or a four-year college, so that they can have those opportunities and have that money to help them out with furthering their education.
So richfieldhigh.org, and then the scholarships tab is where you can go for that
Correct.
information. All right. So, again, great things happening within Sevier School District and Richfield High School. Anything else you'd like our listeners to be aware of today?
Just want to give a quick shout out and a sincere thank you to all of our employees. I want to give the same shout out to our medical professionals out there. We're dealing with difficult times, and those medical professionals are exhausted and working double shifts and overtime to keep us safe. And very similar to them are our teachers and our principals and our bus drivers and our custodians and all of the support staff, our cooks. These are tough times, and we are so fortunate to live in this community where we have good people that are just so willing to give for kids. And I just wanted to thank them and just encourage your listeners, if you see district school workers, school employees, just give them a pat on the back and tell them thanks. They're working extremely hard to keep our kids safe and continue learning and continue in-person learning, which is so much better than online learning. It's just so much more effective. So just wanted to give a shout out to all them in these troubled, difficult times.
And, of course, you can still find on the Sevier School District website, seviersd.org, the COVID cases. If you do wonder where those are at, that's on that homepage.
Yes,
there.
Updated daily for the most part, and lots of great information. I would encourage families to make that their homepage. That would be my desire. When you turn on your computer, check out the district website and understand the great things going on in our district. And then if there are, things that we need to communicate, you'll find them there.
All right. Once again, Sevier School District Superintendent Cade Douglas and Richfield High School Principal Brent Gubler, thank you, too, for coming on today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, there we go. There's our Radio Roundup interview for today.